If you're thinking about selling your home and you're not sure whether or not you should do an open house, this video will clear it up for you. We're going to talk about whether or not open houses are effective in selling your home and why some agents do them and some agents don't. I'm Patrick Grosser with the 513 Flat Fee Real Estate Group at Fathom Realty. We offer premium flat fee listings. Our average clients save $6,000 when they work with us. If you're curious about what we offer and you'd like to find out how much you can save, you can visit our site at 513flatfee.com. Now let's talk about the truth about open houses. Some agents do them, some don't, and you probably are wondering why that's the case. You also want to know whether or not open houses are effective, because if you're trying to sell your home, you want to make sure you can do that for top dollar, do that as quickly as possible. My personal recommendation, I've got 8 years experience here in Cincinnati as a full-time real estate agent. I don't recommend doing open houses to help you sell your home. The reason is they're just not effective, and there's a couple reasons why. Number one is the types of people that are there. Typically, the type of person, there's two types of people that will attend an open house. The first one is a nosy neighbor, somebody who's just wants to see the inside of the house because they've always been curious and you've never invited them over. I know this from experience. People sometimes even come in and introduce themselves, saying they're the nosy neighbor because they know it's kind of ridiculous that they're coming in. But that's one type. The other type is the buyer who's not really ready yet. So somebody who doesn't have an agent yet, isn't really serious yet. They want to start looking, but they don't want to get an agent yet because they're not ready for that. So they're really not committed to the decision of buying a home. They're just kind of walking through your house because it's open. So that's the first reason, is the type of people that come to the open houses are just not really there to buy. They're not serious buyers. The second thing is, if you actually do happen to have a serious buyer walk through the open house, it's not the proper setting for them to feel comfortable to make this big decision of whether or not they're going to buy your home. Obviously, you own a home if you're thinking about selling one. It's a big decision to buy a home, and to pick the right one is a big decision. It's going to affect many years of their lives and affect them financially as well. They want to make sure they do the right thing. They want to make sure they have their agent with them. There's no other distractions. There's not the seller's agent there trying to convince them why this house is the best thing ever. Everybody loves to buy, but they hate to be sold. So the last thing a serious buyer wants is that used car lot experience where they're walking in and then all of a sudden the salesperson, the listing agent hosting the open house in this case, comes up to them and asks them if they can help them with anything or answer any questions for them, or they start rattling off all these features and benefits of the home and why they love it and how it's so great and it will be so perfect for this buyer's family, even though they just met this buyer and they don't really know them. So it makes for a really awkward situation. Serious buyers want to take a thorough look at the house without being disturbed. They want to be there with their agent that they trust. That's going to help them kind of pick out the pros and cons here of the house, help them make an informed decision about this enormous decision in their lives to buy a home. Maybe it's their first home or their next home. Regardless, if they're a serious buyer, they want to be left alone. They want a private showing, which they can schedule typically from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday, any day of the week, depending on your schedule. So your agent, if you're working with one, can set that up automatically. It's easy to set up. So I don't recommend doing open houses. Number one, the types of people you get there are just not serious. And if you do find a serious buyer there, they're just not comfortable in that setting. So I recommend doing private showings. So I personally never recommend that my seller clients do an open house because I think it just drives people to the house that aren't really serious. It's not effective even if there is a serious buyer there. And it's just honestly a waste of my time because I'm focused on selling their house. I'm not focused on trying to pick up new buyer clients. Some agents do open houses specifically knowing that it's probably not going to help them sell the house, but it'll make the sellers feel like maybe it is. But most importantly, they're going to be able to pick up some random neighbors or some unserious buyers who are just starting to look that don't have an agent. It'll help that agent who's hosting the open house to meet them in your house and basically give them a sales pitch on why they should use them as their buying agent in the future. Now, there's really nothing unethical or wrong about that, but as a homeowner, just understand that's typically why most agents do open houses. It's to pick up buyer clients, not necessarily for your home while they're hosting your open house, but for a home in the future to help them as their buyer's agent. So if you're curious about our premium flat fee listing service where you can potentially save thousands of dollars when you sell your home without sacrificing the quality of the service you get, visit our site at 513flatfee.com. I'm Patrick Grosser. Thanks for watching.